Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Cities Skylines. We are playing the master plan city of Exact Bay, and in the last episode we built this new area for the industrial zone over here. Well, Chester Industrial had an expansion. We added this area and I did a few tweaks in terms of the road network, very minor stuff. I kind of redid this intersection over here so that it works a little bit better. It was kind of becoming a little bit of a problem. Our capacity through here is now pretty good. We also had a little bit of an upgrade over here to allow more capacity to make the turn. The other thing that I'm also in, because there's a lot of kind of industrial traffic coming out of here, then wanting to turn and go back into this area. So what they're currently doing is they're either U-turning if they're small vehicles, or if they're larger vehicles, they're running through here and making their way through there. The thing that I'm also, so that's obviously causing a little bit of traffic backup and things like that over here, but I think I've managed that pretty effectively. The other thing that I'm kind of attempting is to, or thinking about, is if this gets a bit worse, we'll do a bit of a build out like this to join this intersection from this side, so that you don't U-turn or turn left here, but you go out and turn left and come back on this road over here. This road obviously has a lot more capacity, so we'll see how that goes. What we're going to do in this episode, however, is we are going to expand this area of Exact Bay. I just want to have a quick look. Umber Crescent over here is filling in pretty nicely. I don't think there's any open spaces left. No open spaces left whatsoever, so this area is filled in pretty effectively. I probably could do with a little bit more kind of trees and stuff in here to make it feel a bit more parky. There's a fair bit of office space over here that looks pretty good as well. But what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to expand the bayside area over here to fill in this little piece. So this road is probably going to run down here, and then what I'll do is I will add an extra road in here that'll join this intersection, and from there we will provide some access over here. It could get pretty busy also. It could get pretty busy, so we'll have a look. I may also have a little bit of a loop to go back onto the highway, so that you can in fact make your way out towards this side and get over here if you would like. These guys obviously have to travel through here to turn and get in here. Whether we have some kind of access over here, I don't think that's going to be possible or really necessary. So we'll see how we do that. Okay, let's get started with some of the layout things that we want to do as we do this. So I'm keen on grabbing this. Okay. Giving it a bit of room. Let's go to 30 at least. 30, and then maybe a little something like that. 40 over there, and then we'll run, or alternatively like 50 over here. No, let's do 30 and 30 is pretty good, and then we'll see about how straight we can run it. Obviously we do want this to actually go more around here, so maybe let me start it on this side. Give me the straight line. So what I'll do is I'll run a bit of a straight section through there, right? So that's going to end up being the road where it ties into. If we're doing an intersection over here, we could spur off of that, so we might tweak that a little bit. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and I just wanted to do it one more. Let's just get a piece of small road over here, and we'll do a little something like that, and then what we'll do is we'll do the big one somewhere over here. I think is where I'm going to run that section of road. I think that's a fair bit of room to run that as parallel over there. Gives us a bit of room to go to both sides. Okay, so let's do that. Now let's see, how are we gonna let's get the turn involved. How am I gonna, oh, that's it. I think that's the turn that I'm looking for, and then similarly over here, how will I, there you go. That's the turn that I'm looking for. Excellent. So that's pretty decent, that little section there. This gives us a bit of room to maneuver. Now, what I'm keen on doing is, let's give me this section through there. Give me a straight line. I want to run it pretty straight, say up to something like that. Now, what I'm keen on doing is maybe looping it to go back this way. Actually, let's get it one more. Come on. Let's get it up to there. Now, what I'm interested in is, let's maybe grab this one, and now let's do a little turn like that. I think that's pretty good. This side, I'm going to do a similar thing, and we're going to tie in over here. So what I'll do is, I'll keep the 2-lane bridge, but what we'll do is we will kind of spur off of it. So let's start ourselves by running it. Let's just get a straight piece over here, please. How can I get it? I can't get it any closer than that, can I? I have to be able to. Let's grab this again. We'll try one more time. Can I? Okay, so let's just switch off the snapping, and we see if we can get it pretty close. Does not seem to want to get pretty close, actually. So let's do, I think something like that is probably good. If we do something like that, yeah, that's going to do nicely. Let's get that going. We'll turn the snapping back on, and now what I'm keen on doing is doing a bit of that. That is pretty cool. Let's just move this a little bit. Oh, look at that. That looks awesome. I like that. So this is kind of what that's going to be like. That turn might not be the greatest, but we'll see. So you'll be able to get on from the highway. You'll be able to get in here directly, so that feeds a little bit of what's going on over here. It'll also take some of the pressure off of there, not that we have that. Okay, so now let's see, how are we going to lay this area out, and what are we going to do in terms of things like public transport? I don't think we have any public transport running here. What I was thinking about doing was actually getting the tram to go through here, and potentially what we could do is we could run the tram straight through here, cross over the top here, and then tie in over there. So let's do that. Let's plan for having that in place. So what I'm keen on doing is getting a bit of a tram road, something that has tram as well as other road, 2-lane with dedicated tram. I think that is the kind of stuff that I'm after. And I'm not gonna run that straight across. What I want to do is do maybe a little something like that. Now get it to go straight, and we'll tie it in over there. And at the same time, you know what, we're just gonna run it straight through till here, and from there we're gonna run, upgrade this to be able to accommodate tram as well. From this side, I would like to have the dedicated tram road all together. Dedicated tram road, just dedicated tram, yeah, 2-lane, 2-lane. I just want basic tram, nothing else. So if I go here and to the tram piece, I want dedicated tram track only. Okay, yes, excellent. So tram track only. Give me the straight tool. So we'll do something like that. Then what we'll do is, actually that's not good enough. Let's bring that back a little. We'll just do a little bit like so, and then what we'll do is we'll, and then we'll start going up. Something like that, and up some more. And then what we'll do is we'll run straight across here. You see? That is pretty good. And then what we'll do is we'll start dropping it down again. And now we just need to, I just think we just need to straighten that out a little. So if we do little something like that, so it's pretty good. Doesn't have to be perfect anyway. So there's a tram tram crossing right over there, so the tram doesn't actually have to go through there where there's all the trouble going on, and the tram can just run straight through here. I'm wondering about that intersection, but anyway, that's okay. So what we can do, let's quickly upgrade this section over here to ensure we have our tram capabilities as we go forward. Come on, there we go. So let's just make sure we run some tram over there. Is that the same that we're using over here? I believe so. That's okay. So let's just make sure we run tram all the way around there, so there is the ability for the tram to loop this area and go out over here so that you can actually get there. Perfect. Lots of parking over there available, and the zoo is looking pretty good. Nice. Okay, now let's see about further improvements over here. I don't want us to get this area to get too busy, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a few cul-de-sacs or crescent type developments off of this. So let's start off with something fairly central. Okay, something like that. So if we do something like that, I want to make sure that we take off that's not quite right, is it? Let's try this section just one more time. I'm not quite happy that we've got that as good as we can. Let's try it one more time. We want to go up to say about there, and then we turn in. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's going to be a pretty decent area for development. So those are kind of two cul-de-sac little areas over there. This side I'm probably going to want us to run things a little better. So if we do, we'll see, we need to kind of run alongside here somehow. So maybe a little something like that. Okay. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's try that again. It's like that, and that is crazy. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Something like so. So there's a little bit of action going on over there. How am I gonna... Potentially what we need to do is we should not have this as straight as this. What we can do is now what we'll do is we'll kind of turn it something like that. That's pretty good, because now this actually forms a little bit more natural piece there. I can maybe tweak it a little bit as well. Okay, now with that in mind, now let's run a bit of a parallel scheme up to here, and that could be a cul-de-sac with something like this. And is that okay? I don't think that's not great. Let's get rid of this piece. This is where it becomes a little bit more difficult to actually get things to work. So if we do that, okay, and then we do this section, what I'll do is I'll trim this back and we'll just run it straight into there. And what we'll do is we'll just tie it in like that. That's pretty good. Now what I also wanted to do was make sure that we actually do provide a connection from the one road to the other. Maybe something like that is pretty good. This could be a little cul-de-sac over here, and similarly, I don't think that's actually necessary. That's going to be it for that little area. Now this side we can probably get a bit of an intersection going on somewhere over here that could actually even tie in over the top here to this bridge. That could actually be pretty decent. So what we want to do is we want to run a little bit of a road over that way, and what I'm thinking is something like this is probably the right tool for the job. We want it a little bit more, yes, So if we do something like that, is that enough room to actually get up and over? Not quite. So let's trim it back a little bit, and we'll see how we deal with that ultimately. So something like that. So there is the option for us to go up to that bridge over there for at least a one-way piece. Now, what I'm tempted to do is we need something to run. Actually, that's probably the right tool for the job right there. Nice. Okay, something like that, and what we'll do is we'll tie that in over here. Come on. Not good. They really don't want us to I'll tweak that a little bit as well. And what we'll do, we need to probably run this over here as well. We'll see if there's any possibility for us to make that a little bit more effective. But yeah, that's kind of the planning for now. Okay, so let's start filling this in a little bit. We definitely need a few other things. So let's see, we're gonna run our water connection up here. Well, one of them at least. We're gonna do a connection up and down this road, like so, and then are we gonna, well, what I suggest is we probably just run a section through there. Over here, what we'll do is we'll run alongside that road over there. So now there's a fair bit of water built in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am tempted to grab us some high density areas in here. And actually, before we do that area, I don't want to zone. Actually, I do want to zone on all of this. So let's just stick with it. Something like that. That's obviously not great. So we'll do that. We will do this. We will do a little something like so. I don't mind zoning on. Actually, this one is probably not the kind of one we want to zone on, especially not that little section over there. So let's do this. Okay, we'll make sure we zone there. We fill out this one over here. Do a little something like that. Excellent. And what I'll do is this side I'm okay to zone those ones, and then this we'll just zone out here. There we go. Actually, that's probably not going to be zoned well. Okay, good. So there's our a bit of residential little clusters going in there. That can get pretty busy. Then what I want to do is I want to get a fair bit of kind of commercial in this little spot over there, and then we'll do some more zoning of all of this. Actually, yeah, let's just do all of that. This area will be some more of this, and actually that area also up to about there. That is pretty good. So there's a bit of commercial going on over there. That's probably just going to stay as is. We can connect some walkways over here. This will all kind of be residential, I believe. And then this area over here can start to become a little bit more commercial. But what I'm also tempted on, actually, this area would do pretty good as office as well. Office likes being on a busy road like this, much more so than the residential guys like it. And we'll just do a 3x, so we don't want to get too massive over there. Excellent. So something like that is pretty good. Then what we'll do is we'll have some more residential up here as well. Okay, on the other side of the road. Nice. We're going to want to have tram stops, so we'll add the tram stops. And I'm kind of tempted to leave this for a bit of school and stuff like that. So let's fill in some of this, something like that. Okay, that's pretty good. We'll leave a little bit more like this now up and now. Let's have a little bit of a commercial square over here. We're definitely going to want some of these guys. Let's make sure to squeeze that one in there. I'm going to want maybe a bit of a small doctor's office clinic thing, We'll have a small clinic somewhere right there. Okay, we'll have a small clinic in there. I want to have a bit of a police station going on. On this road there. Is that? No, that's not a one-way. Yeah, that's pretty good. So that should... Yeah, that's pretty good. That gives us a little bit of police station over there. Also keen on some fire, but nothing too big is required over here. So there you go. There's a little bit on that little main road over there. What I'm now keen on doing is getting some schools in place. So I'll squeeze one of them in here, and then the other one, community school. That's an elementary school. I want a bit of a high school. This is a Nova City High School. Maybe too big. Phoenix High School is a little smaller, so that could actually squeeze in here pretty nicely. I think that is decent. So we'll have two schools in there as well, and that'll be able to feed, I'm hoping, this entire area. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill in, actually maybe we want a little bit of a park, something like a standard bit of park. Maybe this is too big. That actually works quite well over there. So we'll do something like that. Okay, now let's get ourselves back to some of this. We'll tie in our commercial pieces a little bit better over here, do a little bit of that, and I'm gonna fill out that section like so. There we go. Now let's see about getting these things filled in. Nice. And so this will be, I'm just going to extend the bayside neighborhood over here to this side. So we'll extend this as part of the bayside neighborhood like so. These guys are getting really happy due to the services that we've offered in this area. What I want to do is I just want to make sure that this area over here, this does in fact go as a bit of a yield, just to make sure that these guys are stopping. Then we'll now have people be able to get into here from the freeway directly and make their way all the way in here. Hopefully that'll remove some of this traffic pressure that's going around that way. Though I don't think so, because there's no one is actually making use, or very few people are making use of this. Nice. How's the rest of the city going? Really good. Really good. Everything's filled in nicely. Traffic is so manageable all around. No big deal or effort, or these roads are pretty quiet everywhere. Nice. Our biggest traffic concerns are around here, and I think they are managed pretty well. Yeah, that one. Okay, we've got a plan B for this if this continues to be an issue. Yeah, the one thing that I am a little bit worried about is if I do connect this one up, it's fine, actually, it's fine. So let's do this. Do I want to connect that in there? And then what we'll do is we'll connect roads in this one as well. Yeah, we'll see about how we deal with that. I might make this a slightly bigger road if that is what we're going to do over there. Nice, this area is filling in quite nicely. I'm liking it. Though we are after a bit more of this actually. So I'm tempted to grab us a little more in terms of utilities over here. Actually, this area would be pretty good for very nice residential area. We just do a bit of a radial pattern over here with this, so people can actually look out onto this onto the zoo and onto the bay, which is pretty good. A bay like this probably historically would have had a harbor in there, because this would be a great spot for a harbor from a historical point of view. Actually, this one not so much, because that'll have to be dredged all the time. This is more the kind of the kind of marina type development over here, but this one with a pretty deep harbor would have been a nice harbor district over here. And what we could do is we could actually do harbor district right over there and connect these industrial zones together into a bit of a harbor district. That would actually be very nice from that master planning perspective. I like it. I actually like it. It's coming together very nicely. I like you know, this, you know, doing cluster by cluster and then seeing how that works out. So we do need a fair bit more commercial. I'm kind of wondering whether we do actually a waterside commercial district would be pretty good. So let us see about actually continuing that little road with the tram. Okay, as such, we'll just run that straight down here, and then what we'll do is once we reach kind of water's edge, something like that is water's edge in my opinion, then we'll just run a normal road over here, plus maybe a bit of a tram turnaround. We'll see. A bit of a tram turnaround could work nicely over here. Actually, all the way over here could be a nice spot for the tram turnaround. Okay, let's see how we deal with that. Let's get back to some normal roads. Okay, and we almost have to put a cut in this episode. We almost have to end it. So let's do a little bit like that and a little bit like this. Though I'm tempted to just make sure we do some tram stuff as well. Tempted to do that as the turnaround area. And now what we do is we turn it around over here. Okay, so now and actually we probably want this to be tram track, just plain tram track. So let's do plain tram track over there, and then what we'll do is we'll give it a bit of a turnaround. So one way. Oh, that's. Can I just do a single? Is there something like that? Just a single? This is just going to be one way, 2 lanes, one way. Is that? But actually, that might be pretty good though if we do that as such. Okay, so let's do that. Let's give ourselves. Should it be a bit of a square though? Maybe not. Maybe it should be a bit of a square. Okay, let's try it as a bit of a square. Let's do 3 by 5 by 6, like so. If we do a bit of a tram square over there, and that's not very good, let's just raise that up a little. So this could actually be the tram stop closest to the zoo, allowing some accessibility over here. Now let's get some other roads in here quickly as to finalize the area. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of run it in here. Nice. Up there. Well, let's trim it back a little. We run it up there like this and like that. So this can be a bit of a commercial square, but I'm a little worried that that's not quite good enough. Let's run that in a little more. Okay, that's going to be a little bit better, I think. So there's a bit of a commercial square going on into this area with the tram stop right next to it, and this area could be a little bit more commercially focused. I'm not keen on putting stuff on this road directly, so we'll see how that goes. We still don't have any traffic coming in from this side. Nothing whatsoever. Everything else does look pretty good though. Is this area not zoned? Not zoned. And I'm thinking we can extend that commercial area, maybe even a little bit of higher density commercial right over here. And yeah, that seems pretty good. So a little cluster of higher density right there. And what I'll do is I'll put a little bit more of the the office space right next to it there. So yeah, that's going to be a little slither right there, and then it's into a bit of residential zone right there. I like it. It's looking pretty good over here. Now, okay, this side commercial. Okay, what I want to do on this side, I want to give it another bit of a zone. So what we'll do is we'll start it out over there and then run it in over here, and let's just push that out a little bit like so. Excellent. Sunset Square. Yeah, why not? Sunset Square is pretty good because it's going to have a bit of a square feel to it, I believe. This could actually tie in like that a little bit and become slightly a bigger road. But what I'll do is we'll start it. We don't want a reversed piece of road like that. What we're going to do is we're going to. We've really done the reverse road over here. So let's make sure to not have that as a reversed road. That's not quite the plan. What we will do, however, is we will have a little bit of a straight section right there, and then what we'll do is we will turn it in like that. Okay, and I think that is a pretty decent setup. What we'll do is we'll also run this one and turn it out this way a little bit. Yeah, let's do that. Let's run it straight for a little while longer. Okay, and what we'll do over here is we will run it parallel like so. Do we want to? Yeah, I think we want to run it parallel like that, and then we will tie these together over here. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good spot. So that's a nice section there. So this is going to be commercial, and I want to give it a fair density over here. So especially this section, and we'll step back one from the tram track there. That section over there is going to have a fair bit of density. Oh, I hate it when that happens. What I could do, maybe we should just, that's fine. This is all going to be nice high density. It's gonna have a little bit of that feel going on over there. So let's just get it all the way up there. Pretty cool. There we go. Some high density over there. And what I'm tempted to do is a little bit more low density in the front. So let's grab some low density stuff to the front there, and and at the back, what we'll do is I'm wondering about filling in this entire little square here with some stuff. So yeah, let's do that. Let's do this as low density as well. Okay, so we do something like that, and we're filling in this all the way. That's pretty good right there. The one I'll take that out, so we're just not right on the corners. That's pretty cool. I like that area. What we'll do is we'll run a bit of this as well, and a bit of that, and then we can also run a bit of this, but then that's not quite good. Yeah, a little something like that. So let's open that up for a bit of a walkway. We'll get a bit of a walkway to come through here as well. Let's trim that back a little bit so we'll make a nice little walkway up here, and then we'll add this one more like that. That's pretty good. Okay, so let's just get some policies in place over here for Sunset Square. Oh, not policies isn't what we're after. We're after from a commercial perspective, do we want to do leisure or entertainment specialization? I believe we've got entertainment over here, so let's do our first bit of a leisure section over here. So Sunset Square, it'll be a leisure type area. Okay, perfect. So let's get that up and running, but that will also be the end of this episode. There's a few things that we're going to try and tie into over here, but that is pretty good. Now we're starting to fill in the city quite a lot. There are still a few open spaces, which I'm not too sure how we will be making use of it, but we will put stuff in there, even if it has to be a park. And I think stuff like this would do nice park kind of arrangements. Even this park over there, and then even a park to the front here, this section like that. Excellent. This is filling in quite nicely. I'm liking it. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm ExactChaos, and this has been another episode of Exact Bay, the Cities Skylines Master Plan City. If you've liked it, hit that button and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy watching stuff like this. Okay, bye-bye.